Nope, you got to sit right there. Okay, so what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is, hey, you got to sit down, is homeschooling and why I homeschool my kids. So basically, some of you, hey Chrissy, so I know Virgo's crying, like she's like real shit trying not to let me be great today, but it's okay because we are going to work through this.
Mommy.
Yes, ma'am. No, please don't get up here. You're going to knock over everything. Don't do it. Okay, you can get up here. You can get up here. I'm sorry. Okay, so for those of you who may not know, I had an incident with my oldest daughter, Jordan. She was going to school and she was stepping over a child, and one of the teachers was like, I guess as she was stepping over the child, or another one of her classmates, the teacher yanked her, you know, by her arm. And then I was like, okay, you know, and I'm listening to the story because my daughter's telling me. And she tells me that, you know, she was looking at the teacher like, you know, basically, why the fuck did you just grab me like that? I don't know who you are. Like my parents don't even do that to me. So the teacher told her, if she don't like it, oh well. So this situation happened while I was at work, and you know,
Mommy.
what happened? You gonna be okay? No. Okay. So anyways, what happened was, I was furious. I was pissed. I was just like, you know, I'm finna fuck some shit up. As little as I am, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna fuck up, but I was gonna fuck somebody up behind what they said about my baby, because I don't play that shit with my kids. You don't tell my kids, if you don't like it, oh well. That is the most immature shit that you can say to somebody ever, especially to somebody that's only 6 years old. So naturally, because I'm an extreme individual and I'm ready to die about my shit, I snatched her out of school that same day. And the next day, I started homeschooling her. Mind you, I don't know shit about homeschool. I didn't know shit about homeschool. I was so scared because I was like, okay, what do I do? You know, because, and the reason why I took her out when a lot of people would have said, you know, I would have cussed her ass out and sent her back. I'm not sending my child back to the wolves. I'm not sending my child to a place where she's already being mistreated. I just don't feel comfortable with that. I'm not judging anybody. Hey, I'm not judging anybody for wanting to do that with their child, for not having the support to do what I did. But me, I ain't the type. I'm not finna send my baby back to nobody's fucking system where I know that she's not going to be treated the way that she should be treated. I cannot do that. I was not going to send her back. My whole thought process behind me taking her out of school was, you know, if they mistreat her, she's not going to know that she's being mistreated. They'll be like, oh, Jordan, you didn't get treasure box this week, but try again next week. Try harder, and maybe it'll work out for you. No, you're not finna do that. And then my baby's not going to know to even tell me no shit like that, because she's just going to think that, you know, she just didn't get it this year, maybe next year. So, you know, I was just like, okay, I'm not finna send her back. I'm not finna deal with these fucking people. I'm not finna, that, you're right, that's not every school, but that's the school that's in my neighborhood. And I ain't got time to be driving my baby around town and everywhere trying to find some place where she fits in. My baby's an individual, and at school, they're treated like they're all the same. So, that's the kind of backstory behind, you know, why I decided to take my child out and homeschool her. Now, this is my second year homeschooling. We've been doing great so far. My baby, she gets A's in every subject. We do every subject. And I'll give you a little bit of the statistics. I was doing some research earlier this week, and it says 3% of the population is homeschooled. And out of that 3%, 83% of those people in that 3% are white people. And then 5% are black, and then 7% are Hispanic. Now, my question to myself was, okay, why is the majority of the people that are homeschooling their children white? And I know, and I hate to make it about color, but it's about color. Because when you're dealing with schooling and when you're dealing with things of that nature, it's a system. It's a system. And what people don't realize is, I talk about systems all the time because systems are for people to kind of be controlled, you know, and it's kind of a one-way thinking. It's like a one-track situation, you know, and it's not for everybody. Schooling is not for everybody. Secondary education is not for everybody. So I'm not going to lump everybody in that category like, oh, you can go to college, you can finish high school, because that way of learning is not for everybody. And I understand that. But I found it ironic that 80% of the people who actually do homeschool are white. So that tells me that even the white folks don't even trust their goddamn system. So if they don't even trust their own system that they created, why the fuck would I trust it? Now, there again, I'm not judging anybody who has to send their child to school. You know, people don't have support. People don't have people that can keep their kids during the day. People don't have that. And I understand that. So I'm not judging. I'm just merely telling you my point of view and why I do what it is that I do. But white folks don't trust their system. They don't. So why should I trust it? And I don't. I don't trust people who don't trust themselves. I don't trust people that just going to work for a paycheck. Because I know how I act at work. And I don't act worth a damn at work. I'm full of shit all day, every day. I don't want to be there. I act like I don't want to be there. Because to me, it's just a job. So to me, that kind of mind frame is no different from teachers that are teaching children. Because teachers are human beings too. So me, I just choose not to go that route. But with that being said, I'm not saying that a teacher that has been a teacher for 15 years, that I'm better than that teacher. But what I am saying is, if that teacher that has been teaching for 15 years cares about my child as much as I do, then that would be an ideal situation. But theoretically and realistically, nobody's going to care about my child more than me, because that's my child. You're right, Alex, and I totally agree. That is the definition of a system, and it's not for everybody. And I talk about it all the time because systems are the way that this world works. I want to ask you guys a question. Do you guys believe that schooling is a type of programming? Do you guys find it weird that you have to raise your hand when you want to ask a question? And that's like a serious question. Do you guys think that that's weird? Do you guys think it's weird that if you want to go to the bathroom, you have to carry a hall pass? You have to carry some type of identification that you're allowed to be in the said area? Do you guys think that that's weird? I think that is weird. Some teachers are passionate about teaching children. But who really knows a teacher that's passionate? I don't know anyone. I don't even know if I went to school, if I even met a fucking teacher that was passionate. I think I met every other kind of teacher except for one that was passionate. I ain't never even seen one that really cared as much about the children as my idea of a teacher should care. I understand not if 10 kids are asking something at once, but the thing about it is, mentally, when you grasp the concept of somebody having to raise their hand to ask a question, and it's the same way fucking 20 years later. I was in school, we had to raise our hand. When my parents were in school, we had to raise our hand. Nobody thinks that shit is weird. And Chrissy, I'm glad that your son's teacher loves teaching, because that makes it bearable for the children to go there every day. It is. But it's programming. And realistically, coming from a person that homeschools and that's been doing this for 2 years, it don't take no fucking 8 hours to teach them subjects that they're teaching. The majority of schooling is programming. Standing up for the flag. First, are you eating Oreos in my bed? Is that what you doing? No, ma'am. Don't be mad at me. You did it. But yeah, it doesn't take that long. It doesn't take that long to teach kids, but they make it seem like it takes a whole 8 hours for you to teach your kids. Now, part of it is because of the programming with the work system too. Have you noticed that work starts at 8, school starts at 8, work's over at 5, school's over at 3, 4, 5. So it all goes hand in hand. And another reason why I chose to homeschool is because statistically, homeschool students are smarter. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn, but even when I was little and I was in school, every time somebody came from homeschool to our school, we're like, ooh, they probably smart because they was homeschooled. But statistically, it's shown that homeschool kids are smarter. You know, they perform well in testing. Yeah. Chris, I absolutely agree with that too. It is breaking us in. It's preparing us. You're at the edge of the bed. If you fall, I can't catch you because I'm live and this is important. Okay. But yeah, they're programming us to work in factories and to do, you know, mass production type shit that's brainless, shit that's thoughtless. That's what they're training us to do. And when you realize what you're actually a part of, the shit is fucking deep. Mommy. Yes, ma'am. Okay, go ask your TT. There's your cup right there. Go get your cup and ask your TT. But yeah, that's what it is. I mean, that's the reason why I do what I do. And people just be like, oh, bro, you weird. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like once you learn what they teach in school, there's a glass ceiling. It's like you can only go so far. That's why they stifle your creativity. That's why they teach you how to do one way in math and you have to show your work. And if you don't do the steps that you were supposed to do, then you get the answer fucking wrong. I don't believe that. That's never how. I don't even think like that. And I guess that's why when I was in high school and when I was in junior high, I didn't perform that well because I don't even think like that. I don't think like that. See you later. I don't think like that. I can't think like that. No, I don't have to explain what I do, but I just wanted people to know, you know, why I do some of the things that I do. Some people are baffled by what I do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy to explain it because at the end of the day, I am who I am and I make the decisions that are best for me and my situation. I don't make decisions for other people. Like, I really honestly care about my children and, you know, I really love my children and that's a whole nother story. But I came into that. I didn't always feel this way about my children. I believe that, you know, I had, you know, it was an emotional period that I had to get over, but bruh, I like really, really legit, real ass, like love my fucking kids. I love my fucking kids, like, and it was just something that just, I don't know. When I had Jordan, I was just kind of like emotionally disconnected a little bit. And it is emotional for me because it's like, you know, I was in a different headspace. But, you know, when you mature and when you learn more and when you grow, you just feel different about situations. And I really, really honestly feel like I owe everything that I do to my children. I do. I owe them everything. And, you know, they didn't ask to be here, but they're here. So the best I can do is do what I feel is right by them and to make it comfortable for them and to make it so they don't have to do what I had to do, you know, to make it, to make sure that I'm able to leave a cushion for them, to make sure that I'm able to leave a little bit of money for them, because that wasn't what I had. My parents weren't able to do that for me, but I'm trying to make a way for them. And so that's why I come on here and I talk about my life and I talk about the things that I do. Thanks, Alex. It means a lot. But, but yeah, like, I'm about to get off of here. So I thank you guys for joining me. And I hope that I was able to share some type of insight. And thank you for listening to my stories and my horror stories. And yeah, almost making me cry. I was crying yesterday because Michael Jackson is not here with us. But yeah, check out my shit, man. I do this for y'all. The Parlay with Destiny J. That's my shit. Love y'all. I love y'all. But I'm out. Hey, Erica. Too bad you missed it. But I might be on Friday. Bye, y'all. Peace.